Pick-ems is basically in Counter-Strike where you pick your favorites to go through the major, to go through the next stages. And I am a back-to-back Diamond Coin winner, which means that last year and the year before that, and the major before that actually as well, 3 times in a row, I've had the Diamond Coin. So if you are wondering whether or not I am trustworthy, I think my record speaks for itself. Now let's get into it and let's have a look at it, right? Because a lot of people are not fully on board with what the pick-ems is all about. Basically, what you need is to get 5 correct pick-em predictions for the challenger state. Very simple, you get 5 correct predictions, you're still in the run to get the Diamond Coin. You get 4 or less, you're out. The first stage is the challenger stage, where you have OG, Vitality, EG, Cloud9, Big, Bad News Eagles, Mouse, 9C, Gamer Legion, Outsiders, 00 Nation, Furia, Fnatic, IHC Esports, Imperial, and Greyhound Gaming in the mix. Those are the 16 teams that are playing the challenger stage. 8 of those teams will progress to the next stage, which is the legend stage, where some of the other teams are waiting in the form of ENCE, Na'Vi, FaZe, Heroic, you name it. Alright? So a lot of good teams. Now, there's a little bit of a tactic right here when you're doing your pick-ems, and that's what I want you guys to understand. You can say that Vitality is an obvious 3-0 pick, right? There's a high likelihood that they'll go 3-0, but there's also a high likelihood that they will lose one game and just go 3-1, and thus you won't get a point for them. So it's probably smarter sometimes to do a little bit of an outsider pick right here. Who has a chance of going 3-0, but who are we not entirely sure is actually making it through, right? So that way you save yourself a little bit. So that's something you also think about if you want to play a little bit of a tactical game when it comes to the pick-ems. So, first and foremost, I think we can start the discussion about who do we think could be an 0-3 candidate. Looking at the teams up here, there's a couple of them I think have the chance of going 0-3. Greyhound being one of them. Imperial, perhaps. I think home soil, they should be able to win a game. They've been looking decent, actually. I think IHC is a candidate for 0-3. I think 9C is a candidate for 0-3. Alright, those would be my 0-3 candidates. Gamer Legion, you could argue, but I think they have too much quality, honestly, to go 0-3. Same can be said about B&E. They're way too much quality to go 0-3. So I think in the contention for the 0-3 spot would be 9C, IHC, and Greyhound. That's what I'm thinking, right? There's a good likelihood that if I'm right, EG, yeah. You're right, EG. There should be no way EG goes 0-3. But you're right. EG is definitely in contention for that as well. Here's what I'm thinking, right? I think IHC has a lot of quality. They're a very interesting team. I think if IHC were to play Greyhound in a game, I think IHC would win. If EG were to play Greyhound in a game, I think EG would win. And I think if 9C were to play a best of 3 against Greyhound, 9C would probably win, right? So that's why I'm leaning towards right now, Greyhound being my 0-3 pick. Greyhound is by no means a bad team. The way they qualified was also pretty interesting. But I don't know. There's also the tactical aspect to it that EG is playing, if I'm not mistaken, are playing IHC in the first game. So one of those two teams will already be out of contention for going 0-3 to begin with. I really do believe Greyhound is the most reasonable 0-3 pick. That being said, there's other teams here that could go 0-3. I said IHC is a candidate for it. You can argue Gamer Legion as well, EG, but I think it's gonna be Greyhound that I'll put as my my 0-3 pick. That brings us down to the bottom line right here. We need to pick 7 teams who we think will advance from the challenger stage. One team I think will advance is gonna be Furia, no doubt. I also think Furia have a great chance of going 3-0. But I do believe Furia is too good of a team not to advance from the challenger stage. They're playing on home soil. They should be highly motivated to come in a very good state of mind. So I'm going to put Furia down here as my first team to progress. Same can be said about Cloud9. Cloud9 has way too much quality on the server in order not to qualify for the next stage. Cloud9 is a team that I expect to go into the playoff. It's a team that I probably also will have in my Legends pick-ems. So for me not to put them in here as one of the safe cards would be ridiculous. Cloud9 and Furia are 2 teams that I highly expect will walk through, and 2 teams I also think have a chance of going 3-0, to be completely honest. Are they going to do it? Doubt it, but it could be. That at least gives us two spots here. Vitality would be the exact same reasoning right here. Vitality have just lost a game to Astralis at the Blast Showdown, where I'm actually sitting right now recording this video. That was not pretty, but Vitality also did win EPL a couple of weeks ago. So Vitality is a team that, without a doubt, should be making it to the Legend States. Without a doubt, should be going through right here. Is it going to be 3-0? Is it going to be 3-1? Is it going to be 3-2? And are they going to struggle a little bit? Perhaps, but again, there's too much quality. Right now, the best player in the world is Saivu. There's literally no debate when it comes to that. Simple has not cooled off. Simple is just not playing as many games right now, whereas for Saivu is firing on all cylinders. So in terms of being the most informed player right now, that would be Saivu, and if we don't have the most informed player making it to the Legend States, I would be slightly disappointed. So I think Vitality is another good pick right here. Another good pick right here. So who else do we have who are teams who are supposed to go through? There's a big pack of the middle field. I'll put it right. The midfield, the pack of the teams who are all equal. I would argue that teams like OG, Big, Mouse, Outsiders, Fnatic, perhaps CSGO Nation, like those teams are all very close. All very close. B&E is always a bit of a joker. We don't really know what to expect, so it's hard to judge. But again, if I were to put them up against each other, I think Outsiders right now is a team that has too much quality in a best of 3 not to make it. I think James is he's a great Counter-Strike player. He gets a lot of criticism, but we always know Outsiders to be a team that most likely will make it, right? So I'm hesitant. And then again, not really hesitant to put him right here. I think Fnatic right now is a team that has showed a lot of progress lately. I think Mouse is a team that we have to respect as well. They're getting better and better and better. B&E, this ultimate underdog that in a scenario like this, right, there's a chance that B&E will come in and surprise everyone. So I don't know, man. Big as well. Big is a great shout for a team. They were disappointing, very disappointing here during Blast. They're also playing with a stand-in. People, don't forget that. Faven is not going to play with Big at the major. They're playing with a stand-in in Sin. That's going to haunt their chances. I would say had they had their entire roster with them, I probably would have put Big in here. So it is a tough one. I feel like if you get a diamond coin at this major, you're a god. Like, you're literally a god. It's going to be tough. It's gonna be tough. Alrighty. So I gotta think, Jacob. Think a little bit. You know, use your brain. I take this very seriously, so I can make sure that you guys are getting your diamond coins. I think we have to put Outsiders in here. Outsiders have too much quality. I think the team of Outsiders is a great team. Flit, Kicker, Jame, Norbert, Fame. I think they've shown enough for me to say that they should definitely qualify for the Legend States. They have a lot of experience as well. Flit has been around for quite some time. Kicker and Jame have been a rock solid core of Outsiders / VP / whatever you want to call them for a long time. So not to have Outsiders making the Legend States, that would be too big of a surprise as well, to be honest. And that's the issue right here. It leaves only 3 spots left. Now we can also go like this, right? I had EG, and I had 9C, and I had IHC as my 4 candidates to go 03. So I'm not going to put IHC, I'm not going to put 9C, and I'm not going to put EG down here. That leaves us with OG, Big, B&E, Mouse, Gamer Legion, Fnatic, and Imperial. So if that's the internal competition, if that's what we're looking at right now, who do we think stand the best chances of making it through from those teams? I think Mouse is a team that I actually want to put here, but also I also want to put him as a 3-0. I think Mouse and OG both have the abilities to go through, but I'm not certain of them going through, so I don't know. CSGO Nation, definitely also a team that could go through. I think they've shown enough quality to be in contention for making the Legend States. Fnatic, the same story for them. I think it's a good team. It's actually a very good team. It's a team that is progressing, a team that is getting better and better. B&E, these underdogs. Oh, this is tough, man. I'm struggling. I'm not gonna lie. I'm struggling a little bit. This is one where you really have to put in a lot of effort to figure out whether or not you're gonna hit nail of the coffin. You guys are saying B&E 3-0. Yeah, the thing with B&E and putting them as a 3-0 team, sure, and best the ones that have the upset potential, but I think B&E is... You have to understand, B&E is worse off now than they were during the Antwerp Major, and now people are also respecting B&E. Like, B&E have earned people respect. B&E is a team that people will now prepare for more thoroughly. They know the playstyle, and to be completely honest, from an analytical point of view as well, B&E's playstyle is a little bit too one-dimensional. It's a very great upset team. It's definitely a team that I expect to win a game. They can definitely cause an upset to one of the favorites, but... Nah. I have a hard time believing they're gonna win a best of 3 against anyone who's 2-0. They don't have enough depth for that. I think I want to put... Oh, Jesus, this is tough. This is tough. Gamer Legion, yeah, they were looking impressive throughout the qualifier, but I think that also has a limit to them. I'm almost wanting to say that Big is out of contention. I don't believe in Big with Sin. I'm a huge admirer of Tapson. I'm a huge admirer of Sersen as well. He can play some fantastic Counter-Strike. I don't believe Big is going to be a team that's going to make it through. Not with Sin. Not that it's Sin's fault, but they're playing with a stand-in. They didn't look good at all coming into Blast. So they're out of contention. That leaves me with OG. I don't believe in B&E going through. I'm sorry. That leaves me with OG, Mouse, CSGO Nation, and Fnatic. Technically 4 spots, right? Fnatic could be a team that is going through. They also could be the 3-0 team. That's the problem for me. Who is more likely to go 3-0 of OG, Mouse, and Fnatic? I don't believe in CSGO Nation doing it. Which is why I probably should pick them there. Because they're going to make it through. Yeah. The safe play would be... The safe play for me would be to take OG, Fnatic, Mouse, and then CSGO Nation as a 3-0 team. I think CSGO Nation have a decent chance of going through. I don't think they're going to 3-0, but if I want to make sure to get 5 pick-ems correct, I think having Furia, Cloud9, Vitality, Outsiders, OG, Fnatic, and Mouse, surely 5 of these teams are going to make it through the major. To the Legend stage, surely. Greyhound is a good shout for an 0-3 team as well. I don't think this looks bad in any way. There's ways where you could change it up. You could put OG as a 3-0 team. I think they have the depth for it. Fnatic as well, Mouse as well for that matter. They have a higher chance of going 3-0, but I'm not really sure or certain that OO Nation will go through, so it's probably better to gamble like that. As for Imperial, yeah. It's tough, right? It's tough because you also... You kind of want to put Imperial into the mix because... Think about it like this. They're coming with so much motivation. Everyone want to see Imperial do well. Everyone want to see them come into the major and have a last final hooray. We even heard Fallen saying that he's most likely going to retire end of next year perhaps. Or who knows after the major if it goes well. I think Imperial overperformed massively. They overperformed massively last time around during the major. It was fantastic to see, to be honest. And there's even more incentive to perform well now coming in with the home crowd. They're probably practicing hard. But then again, who would you replace? If I were to believe Imperial, do I think they have a higher chance of making it through than Mouse? No. Do I think realistically they have a higher chance to Fnatic? No. OG? No. Any of these 4 teams? No. Could you put Imperial like this? Could you make it like a Clown Fiesta? But then again, who do I believe the most in, CSGO Nation or Imperial? Who do I believe is the better team? And I think CSGO Nation is a better team than Imperial. I think Dumao, Lado, those young guns, Try as well is a fantastic talent. He's only 18 years of age. He's already now owning it up with the AWP. So it's hard for me to justify putting Imperial in there. Yeah, you guys are saying that you don't think CSGO Nation can beat B&E. I disagree. I think it's a close game. I think B&E can definitely beat CSGO Nation. I'm not going to lie, but... I don't think it's gonna happen. The thing is, if I had to be honest, right, I think Cloud9 would be the most likely team to go 3-0. But it's a big gamble to put them as a 3-0. It's a very big gamble to put them as a 3-0. That's what you have to think about, guys. If you want the diamond coin, if you want to follow me in my pick-ems, if you want the diamond coin, you gotta make sure that you are thinking smart about it. Because I agree, Vitality, Cloud9, Furia for that matter, they're more likely to go 3-0 than any of these teams, you know, CSGO Nation, Imperial, B&E for that matter, but it's about playing it smart, it's about risking it. The 0-3 contenders for me is Greyhound, IHC, 9C, and perhaps EG in that mix as well. But as I said, you know, if EG is playing Greyhound, I think EG is going to beat Greyhound. IHC versus Greyhound, I think IHC will beat Greyhound. I think 9C against Greyhound in a best of 3 0-2 game, I think 9C will win, so it's hard for me to justify not putting Greyhound as my 0-3 team. Big over OG, the reason why I don't have Big over OG is because of the stand-in situation, yeah. I mean, if we expect everyone to beat their opponents in the first game... Yeah, I think Oof. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. The entire thing is tough. The entire thing is tough. EG potentially have the easiest way to go 3-0. If they beat IHC in the opening matchup, there's a chance they face B&E in the second matchup, or 0-0 Nation, which is a winnable game for them, for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I think this looks good. I think OG could be a 3-0 pick as well. I kind of want to put OG as a 3-0 pick, just to see if that's realistic. But so many results can happen. So many results can change the entire thing. I also would argue that Vitality could be a 3-0 pick, and if I put Vitality, that opens up a spot. But I'm pretty content with what I'm seeing right now. I'm actually pretty content with what I see right now. Also looking at the matchups and the potential matchups, you know, for the next rounds. Pretty content with what I see right now. It just takes one upset to destroy the entire thing. I think this will be my pick'ems. I think the reasoning behind it is good enough. As said, I don't believe in EG to make it through, even though they can. I just don't think they have the quality right now. Big, I don't believe Big with Sin is going to be good enough to make it through. B&E, yeah, an outsider could happen. I don't believe it. 9C the same. Gamer Legion, they impressed me throughout the qualifier. They're a quality team. They're a good team. I'd expect them to be in a 2-2 game or in a 1-3 scenario. But again, do I believe Gamer Legion is going to beat Furia, Cloud9, Vitality, Outsiders, OG, Fnatic, Mouse in a best of 3? No. Nothing suggests that should happen. The only one I would like to have in somewhere would be Imperial. It would also be ultra BM to put Imperial like this. And I don't think it's going to happen, to be completely honest. Imperial's route in yeah, it could happen. I mean, they're facing Vitality in the first game, and then if everyone sticks according to plan, they'll face 9C in the second game, and then they have IHC in an 0-3 game. Like, there's a way Imperial goes 0-3. There's definitely a way Imperial goes 0-3. But yeah, I see Greyhound as the most realistic pick to go 0-3 still. I think in a matchup where they face each other as well. Let's stick with this, guys. I think we're gonna update it. I think this is what it looks like. This is what it looked like. We got the pick'ems. We got them locked in. I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with this. This would be it. I think those are a decent pick'ems right here. I think those are a decent pick'ems. All right, that'll be my pick'ems, guys. You gotta trust me. You gotta try to trust me. I've had Diamond Con twice in a row, so I think we'll be fine.